Most anti-theist arguments aren't wrong because they're evil. They're wrong because they're shallow.
First of all, I must say that I love this guy's video style. It's like, democracy is bound to fail because we allow women and black people to vote. Women are weak and black people are stupid. Some men are weak too, especially femboys. That said, I've been wanting to make a video on him for a while now. Thing is, there's stuff I have to do and there's stuff I want to do more than a response video. So there's not much time to research and give proof, a practice he doesn't enact in his videos. But he recently uploaded a video about religion, and since there's no need for evidence here, let's answer his arguments. He posts the video as a tier list, but I won't care about his tiering since we have different moral values. If you really care about this matter, I recommend you to watch his video and his arguments first, even though I put them here as well. Let's get going.
Who created God? This argument shows a complete misunderstanding of the reasoning for a creator. A creator is necessary exactly because we know that everything that begins has a cause, and we run into the issue of what caused the first cause, resulting in an infinite regression. Therefore, an uncaused first cause isn't an opinion, it's a necessity. Proof that the beginning is a miracle in and of itself. A common rebuttal to this is that the matter of the universe is eternal, which aside from being an unlikely theory given decay, it still runs into the issue of infinite regress to explain the beginning of change.
Well, infinite regress isn't an issue with a B theory of time, which is what Einstein's general relativity points to. Also, matter isn't eternal nor conserved, nobody says that. It's energy that's locally conserved. Things get trickier at cosmic level, though. Lastly, onto the actual argument, God being uncaused is a tautology, is true by definition. The argument often raised is why must your God, or any God for that matter, be the first cause?
I believe in science/evolution. Evolution isn't relevant to the theism debate because texts like Genesis don't have to be read literally, and science describes processes. It cannot explain why there is something rather than nothing.
I'm fusing this point with another one he makes about the God of the gaps fallacy, which is putting God whenever we fail to understand something. First of all, God has no explanatory power, since from a religious perspective, everything has been done by God. Therefore, comparing science and God is, and I am agreeing with basic logic here, senseless. Nevertheless, the fact that some Bible verses and etc. must be taken metaphorically seems to me quite convenient.
You deny thousands of gods, I just go one further. This one is just sad. This is the equivalent of saying, you deny that 2 plus 2 has any answer other than 4, I just go one further and say 2 plus 2 has no answer. Theism rejects false gods for the same reason atheism should reject false explanations. Because they're false. Not because there are too many of them.
Under the framework where 2 plus 2 equals 4, we can prove it true. The same doesn't apply to God. Nonetheless, the thousands of God argument remains very poor, mostly because it isn't an argument, it's a slogan.
Lack of empirical evidence. This is just an empiricism fallacy. Absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. Not all rational beliefs are empirically testable. Meaning, morality, logic, and causation itself aren't discovered through lab experiments. We can reason from contingency, causation, and intelligibility.
Well, given that not believing takes one to hell, the fact that God lets everything rest on faith makes one doubt his omnibenevolence, but ultimately basic logic's response is good. Empirical evidence isn't the only source of knowledge.
The omnipotence paradox. Can God create a stone so heavy he cannot lift it? This is an argument by changing definitions. You've decided that omnipotence means being able to contradict himself and bring in illogical nonsense. Logic is upheld by God as a great good. Omnipotence means the ability to do all that is logically possible.
You're the one modifying the definition. You describe a God that's omnipotent asterisk, since he's constrained by logic, which seems to be above him. Ironically, William of Ockham solved this centuries ago by putting God rightfully beyond logic since he's the creator of everything, but of course, that makes God look like what it is, an irrational concept.
The Euthyphro dilemma. Is something good because God commands it, or does God command it because it is good? The dilemma assumes goodness exists independently of God. Classical theism rejects that premise. Since he's the creator, he creates in accordance with his will. The opposite would be illogical. So, the dilemma can be rewritten as, is God's will his will because God wills it? Or does God will it because he wills it? Which is just babble. Negative IQ.
So he makes a word salad with some Jordan Peterson quality and concludes that good is made by God and is what God wills, so good is indeed arbitrary and he's a divine command theory proponent.
The problem of divine hiddenness. This argument assumes that God's primary objective is to be known and worshipped. It isn't. Different religions make different claims, but from a Christian perspective, if God made his existence and therefore power as undeniable as gravity, belief would be coerced, not chosen. This isn't about making belief difficult, it's about making relationships possible. A relational God would require freedom for those with whom he has a relationship. God is hidden not to be unreachable, but to not overwhelm. The evidence is sufficient for those who seek honestly, but ambiguous enough for those who don't. That's not a flaw, it's a feature. Flawed tier.
Cute slogans and everything, but this is wrong in too many ways. People do deny gravity, they're called flat earthers. Why wouldn't they deny God? Also, God's objective is clearly for us to worship Him. He literally makes us do it eternally in heaven, and will send us to hell if we don't do so in earth. And last but not least, how exactly am I supposed to have a relationship with somebody who I cannot see, hear, or speak to?
God is a psychological crutch for those who fear oblivion. This argument fails the test of reversibility. I can just as easily say atheism is a psychological crutch for those who fear consequences. Historically, explicitly atheist regimes have produced levels of coercion and mass death unmatched by even the cruelest religious systems.
Neither of these are arguments, and your rebuttal is stolen from John Lennox, who said this in response to a phrase by Stephen Hawking, but you do acknowledge that. Also, atheist regimes have caused mass death not because of being atheist, but because of terrible economic and fiscal policy, totalitarian reprisals, and massive populations. Religious tyrannies couldn't kill so many people because, back then, there weren't that many people.
The problem of evil. A lot of theists hand-wave this argument away with philosophical explanations such as free will. But I want to give this argument the credit it deserves. Because if God's will is goodness itself, and he alone created the world, why is there evil? Is that not contrary to his will? This undermines every other argument I've made in this video. It's the limit of philosophy. I can give you 100 theories for why evil exists, but that will never satisfy someone who just lost a loved one, or who is plagued by horrifying disease, or who suffered incredible mistreatment. This is where philosophy ends and religion starts. Strong tier. Lots of religions try to answer the problem of evil, which is not within the scope of this video. But only one has a God that became man so he may bear it with us, die to it, and overcome it, resulting in a greater good than if no evil were ever present.
First of all, philosophical reasoning mustn't console people. If evil is justified, it doesn't matter whether or not it makes somebody who has experienced great suffering feel better. That is why religion triumphs with people who are in desperation. It's not rational, it's not logical, but thinking that Sky Father has your back is comforting. That's why all major religions are full of claims of love, despite their practices being the exact opposite. And this is what it all boils down to: emotion. He literally ends the video saying, well, there's this one biggest contradiction that makes all Abrahamic religions crumble, but Christ is king, guys. Always beware those who non-stop babble about logic and reason. I don't like to make monoliths out of ideological groups, but most of the rightist facts over feeling people have a damn lot of feelings. Take the topic of feminism, for example. What does one see more commonly? People getting mad about the concept of patriarchy, which most anti-feminists don't bother trying to understand, or people making a legitimate philosophical criticism of critical theory, which is the groundwork for modern feminism. One always gets deferred, non-stop. Terribly formulated criticism is so common, one often even gets concepts mixed up, such as radical feminism being interchanged with misandry, which one looks at what radical feminism is, debunks. And Basic Logic himself is not exempt of this. Lots of yapping about woke cancel culture, but in the end, he wishes for the same. He wishes for blasphemy laws to restrict anti-Christian speech. Well, there is it, folks. Remember that nobody will give you the truth on a dinner plate. See ya. Y ahora pues ya faré algún vídeo, ja faré algun dia el vídeo este sobre la teoria crítica o com se diga, perquè sí que vull criticar-la també, perquè me pareix que té algunes coses que estan prou mal, però
però no sé com s'hi diu, bro, no s'hi diu teoria crítica ni de conya, o sigui, que mal nom.